It's April the 10th, 2014, and we're in the home of my dear grandmother, Delores Garber. Now, Tate, you want to start with a question?
Where did you grow up?
Where did I grow up? Well, let's see. Out in the country, about 10 miles east of Goshen. I think maybe it was more than 10 miles. It'd be more like, would have done a farm. It'd been a little more than 10 miles probably.
Was it out in the...
on 31, County Road 31.
Okay, yeah. And so when you say you grew up on a farm, was it like cows, pigs, chickens? I mean, what?
Yes, we had a big barn with cows, pigs, chickens, you name it, we had it.
Really? So did you have to actually go out and take care of the animals?
I helped milk cows. I helped feed the chickens. And, yeah.
You milked the cows and
Oh,
everything?
yeah, by hand.
How about
We've
that?
got milking machines then finally, but we still milked cows once in a while to make it go faster. Because we had about 15 cows usually.
Now, wasn't that what didn't Grandpa's family have a dairy farm as well, or something like that? Or it seemed like maybe not.
Well, I suppose, I can't remember that they did, but
Okay. Maybe it's his brother. Does his brother live on a farm right now? That I must be thinking of something else. That's all right. What's your next question?
So what are some of your fond childhood memories?
What are some of your favorite childhood memories?
well, I remember when my sister got married,
Okay.
they took a picture of us out in the front yard. Why, I don't know. I guess just because I was flower girl. And my sister was older than I, and I'd sleep with her at night, and I'd wake up, and I'd be kicking her in the stomach. I remember her telling me that. And my brother and I, we used to fight standing on the register. We'd eat our dinner or supper or whatever, breakfast or whatever it was, and we'd be cold, so we'd stand on the register. So we'd fight for the registers. We had one in the living room, one in the dining room. And sometimes we'd fight to get on the register quick, see who could get on quickest.
So what kind of a heat did you
We had a
have?
furnace. We had some kind of a furnace in the basement.
Okay, like a coal or something.
I think coal,
Yeah.
them days.
Yeah. So so you would fight to see who could get on there so you could stay
Register
warm.
first.
Yeah. So go
It
ahead.
was 2 registers. We didn't have to fight, but we did.
Yeah.
You always shared a room though with Fern for most of your childhood.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, we girls had a room. Alvin had his own room, and my parents had their room. It was 4 bedrooms, but they only used 3 of them. The other one we used as a storeroom.
Okay.
So I remember that. Keep some of our toys in the storeroom.
Did your dad build your house? Or
No, I don't recall that he did.
okay.
I don't know
How you got the house?
how we got it, but
No.
Go
Where
ahead.
did you go to school?
Clinton Community School was the name of the school. It was just a small school. It had 8 grades in it. And then I went there till I was in, I think I was supposed to go into 8th grade. And the school was getting too full. So they sent me to Millersburg. I'd get on the bus and go to Millersburg and go to high school. Something 8th grade, finished my 8th grade there, and then went to high school in Millersburg, which was south of Clinton Community. I don't know how many miles, 5-6 miles at least.
So you did finish high school.
Oh yeah.
Now, why did I think that you went to Goshen High School for a little while? You didn't.
Well, I did. Let's see, how was it? I guess I graduated. That's right. I guess I forgot. I graduated from Goshen
Okay.
because they moved there. They moved to Goshen when I was when I was a senior, going to be a senior. So I went there, finished Yeah, and then I graduated Goshen my senior. Forgot that.
Oh, that's all right. So you went to was it a one-room schoolhouse? Like from 0 to 8th grade or whatever?
No, it was,
Or it was a bigger one.
It had, 1, 2, 3, it had 4, 5 rooms. And then they, like, it'd be first grade and half of second in one, then half of second and third in the next one, and on around. So
Okay.
7th and 8th grade were together. Somehow or other they were, there wasn't as, I don't know, by that time, it seemed like there wasn't as many. The room was bigger.
Yeah.
It was a stage room, so maybe that's why it was bigger. So
Yeah.
we went, 7th and 8th grade were together then, but the rest of them were divided up like that.
Very good.
What was your favorite memory from school?
Oh, I don't know, we had a crabby teacher. She always come to school with her slip hanging out.
Oh no.
And then, you know, if we didn't behave or something, like she really got on us. She made us stand in the corner, and we got talk. We talk out loud. Like she'd really write stuff up on the blackboard for us to copy. And
So did you ever have to stand in the corner?
no, I never stood in the corner.
But she was kind of crabby.
I think I had to do something on the blackboard, but I don't remember what it was. Probably write so many words.
Yeah. Did you have recess time and everything?
Oh, yeah.
Like you'd go out and play?
Yeah, we had recess. And we'd go outdoors and play. We'd go out and play ball. I'd go out and even sometimes play ball with the boys. Us girls would play with the boys again. We'd play baseball with boys.
Yeah. All right.
What was your favorite part of school?
I don't know. I think probably when I went to high school, I enjoyed high school more than I did grade school. I guess it was because we were more free. We had steps to go up and down. It was a two-story high school, and so I think maybe I enjoyed that because there was more activity.
So, how many siblings did you have, and what were their names?
My brothers and sisters,
Yeah.
just my brother and my sister. I had a brother and a sister.
Yep.
Fern and Alvin.
Fern and Alvin.
Yeah.
What toys did you play with when you were little?
Well, I always had a favorite doll. I remember that. I had a doll buggy. Always had a doll buggy. I could push my doll around in a buggy. I remember that. But I don't know if there was anything else really that I would call my favorite.
Yeah.
So, what kinds of things did you do with your siblings growing up?
What did I do?
Yeah.
Yeah,
did
with
you
your
play-
with your sister and brother, would you play together?
I don't know. I guess we did a lot of work together because we had to milk cows together. And I know I had to take my turns washing them. After we got milking machines, I had to take my turns washing the milking machines. And I don't know if my mom did that. And I take turns with her, I guess, more than I did. But Alvin and I used to throw the ball back and forth. I don't know, and we worked in the fields together.
What would you do out there in the fields?
Ride the binder, I had to dump the bundles so they could shock them into shocks, into the fields. And then I drove horses to make hay. I'd have to stand up in front of the wagon and drive the horses to make hay. And we'd have to unload the hay in the barn. I don't remember that I had to do any more than just drive the horses in the barn.
Did you stay home from school to do that, or was school out when that was going on?
Yeah, school was usually out. I never stayed home from school to work.
Mhm.
We were never allowed to do that.
So, who were your friends growing up?
Who were my friends?
Yeah.
Well, let's see. I had two close friends when I went to Goshen High School. there were two girls, Vivian and, can't think of the other one's name right now. There were two girls that we used to do things together. But in grade school, everybody was my friend, I think. I didn't really have any special close friends, just everybody was my friend. I remember though, being sent to the principal's office one time for telling a story. I was telling a story that somebody told me. It was a lie, but I didn't know it. So I had to go to the principal's office to make that right.
Okay.
That was funny. It wasn't funny at the time, but it was, to go to the principal's office, that was
Yeah.
something.
What did he say to you?
I don't remember, but I got by, and they took my word for it. I didn't get in trouble for it.
That you didn't know it wasn't true.
No, I didn't know it wasn't true.
What did your dad do as a living?
Farmer. He was a farmer.
Your whole life?
Yeah.
So Curtis was a farmer.
Yeah.
And he probably grew up on a farm? I mean,
I would imagine, I can't remember,
Yeah.
but I imagine he did. But I know he was always a farmer.
yeah.
He did retire then eventually, and he sold milking machines then.
Huh.
After he retired, he sold milking machines.
So what,
Condi, I think they were called Condi milking machines.
Mm.
what kind of things did your mom do with you as a child?
Oh, I can't remember other than just clean house and work in the garden. We worked in the garden. We always had a big truck patch, so we'd work in the garden.
Your phone's going off. So what kind of things would you grow in the garden?
Oh, everything. We had raspberries, strawberries, sweet corn, potatoes, early potatoes, late potatoes, corn.
So there's a difference between early potatoes and late potatoes?
Yeah. You plant them, the early potatoes, you plant them earlier than you do the late potatoes.
So did you eat a lot of your food right
Oh,
from
yeah,
the garden?
all of it. We even gave some away if we had too much.
Okay.
We can what we could or freeze what we could. We froze a lot of corn,
Mm-hmm.
green beans. We just had everything.
Yummy.
It's a lot of work.
Oh, I'll bet.
We had to keep the garden clean, pull the garden,
Yeah.
pull the weeds.
Go ahead.
What were your favorite foods?
Oh gee, my favorite food back then, Mom was a good cook. We always had mush for breakfast, especially on weekends. Fried mush. I didn't like the soft mush where you put the milk and sugar on, but I liked fried mush.
Did you put syrup on?
Yeah, syrup on it.
It's good.
But I don't know that I always liked pie. Mom always made a lot of pies. So I always liked all kinds of fruit pies. Custard pies, she made custards and pumpkin pies.
I remember, the main thing I remember when I came over here, spend the night, whatever, we'd always go get pizza. Do you remember the first time you had pizza?
No, I don't.
Huh.
I don't know when that would have been. That was probably one of the newer foods at that time.
Yeah. Probably became popular while you were a kid or soon after or something.
Yeah, because we didn't always have pizza.
Yeah.
Did you make cheese at your house when you were growing up? With
No.
all your milk? No.
No,
Or butter or stuff like that? You would.
I think Mom made some butter. I think Mom made butter.
So you sold most of your milk then to a...
Yeah, we always
To a dairy,
sold our
yeah.
milk to milk truck come and picked it up.
Did you know your grandparents and what kinds of things did you do with them?
Oh, my grandfather had died when I was young as a baby, so I didn't know him. But
Which grandfather died when you were a baby?
Grandpa Pletcher
Okay.
and Grandpa Hendrick was dead before
Yeah.
he died before I was old enough to know him. But I knew my Grandma Hendrick and I knew my Grandma Pletcher. She lived longer than Grandpa did. And
So would you go over there and spend the night, and they'd take you to pizza and?
Sometimes,
I'm just joking.
sometimes I don't know that I ever stayed overnight with my grandma Andre, but, because she lived close to us, so I don't think I ever stayed overnight there, but
Yeah.
I stayed overnight with my grandma Pletcher because she wasn't able to stay alone. And so sometimes I'd have to take turns staying with her overnight. She couldn't stay alone at night.
Okay.
That was in Millbury,
In Middlebury.
the ice cream place.
Okay.
So they used to run an ice cream place.
So you're talking about Vic's or what?
Yeah,
What was
that's where it is,
Nancy?
Vic's. That's where it was. That's where I'd stay overnight there.
Okay. That was your grandma's house.
Uh-huh.
And was it her that started the ice cream business?
Yeah, I think they did start it, yes. I think it was.
And they sold it there out of their.
Yeah, they
out of
sold
their
it then,
house, Yeah.
yeah.
Huh.
Well, after Lineballs bought it, that had been their daughters. And they bought it after they quit doing it. Like, they did it for a while. I don't know how long it was until they sold it. But
Did,
Go ahead.
did you have electricity growing up?
yes,
Okay. And did your grandparents have electricity
I think so. I don't ever remember being
without it?
without it.
Yeah. What about indoor plumbing? Did you always have a bathroom in the house?
No,
Yeah.
didn't always have a bathroom.
You remember getting plumbing?
I don't remember when we got it, but I remember going out to the bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
Outside.
How'd
We
you
always
take,
had a sidewalk out
yeah.
to the bathroom.
And how'd you take a bath then? Like, what'd you do? Did you?
We used the kitchen. We had a stove in the kitchen that we could make fire in,
Yeah.
you know, and heat up the kitchen. And then we had a round tub that we used to
Okay.
put water in.
Yeah.
We'd heat the water on the stove and pour it in there and take our bath in there.
Yeah.
We'd take turns.
Yep. Yeah.
I'd have to wait on Alvin to get his bath taken, because he usually went away first.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd have to wait till he was all done, then I'd take my bath.
You can do your bath.
Okay.
Do you remember any stories your parents or grandparents told you?
That they told me,
Yeah, or about their lives or any other stuff?
no, I don't remember too much. They really never were that talkative about things like that.
Yeah. Okay.
So what was your favorite family tradition? Or holiday tradition?
Well, I don't really know that there was any.
What would you guys do for like Christmas? Like we always came over here to your house or got together on Christmas Eve for years. Would you guys do something like that with your aunts and uncles and everyone? Or
I don't remember of ever doing that.
yeah.
No, I don't. We just get each other gifts, immediate family, and had our own. I don't remember any group coming over that I can remember.
So when you were a little kid, would you guys open your presents on Christmas Eve or on Christmas Day? Do you remember? Would you get up Christmas Day and then you'd have
I
to
think
feed
we
Alvin?
opened them on Christmas Eve,
Okay.
because we do stay up later and then we'd go to bed late and sleep in.
Yeah.
So what would you get usually? What was a good Christmas gift? Candy or maybe like something?
I think we always got clothes.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
I think we always got clothes.
And did you get birthday gifts too, or no? Just
I guess we did something. Maybe that was candy and stuff more.
Yeah.
Or Mom would bake us some
Yeah, right.
cake.
Make you a special dessert
Cake.
or something. Yeah.
cake, probably.
What is the first modern appliance you remember your family getting?
Appliance?
The first modern appliance.
Well, probably was our oil stove.
No, okay.
Okay.
Because Mom got tired of cooking on the stove. So I think we got an oil stove and we set that right beside it. And she
Okay.
cooked on that.
Mhm. Was that
That was
easier?
pretty modern, pardon?
Was that easier to like regulate the
Yes.
temperature? Because like the wood stove is harder to.
Yeah.
To
You
know.
could turn it up and down. And,
Yes, okay.
yeah,
Kinda like a gas stove?
yeah.
Yeah. Huh. So you had both though for a while?
Mhm.
She still would?
Yeah, she still did it sometimes.
But you could probably heat up water, things
Yeah.
like that. Yeah.
But we always used that. Had 3 burners,
Mhm.
and we'd have to keep it full of kerosene.
Okay.
I know I had to bring kerosene in still
Yeah.
from outside. We had a place outside outside the garage where we kept
You
it.
store it.
In a, it was a big tank.
Sure.
And you fill up the stove with that.
Mhm.
Mhm. And could you bake in there? Could you have an oven or no?
No, I don't think so. I think Mom had to start the oven to have. Couldn't bake in
Yeah.
it.
But you could do on the top, on the range, yeah.
What kinds of books did you read as a child?
Well, I never liked books too well. So I don't know that I ever really. Sometimes I get library books from school, but it wouldn't be very many.
Did you? I was the same way.
I
Did
didn't care much about reading.
did your parents ever like read you books to go to sleep, or like what was when you were a kid? Do you remember what was your good night routine? Would your mom and dad come in and kiss you good night and tuck you in, or just hey go to bed kids, or
We always went up, when we went upstairs, well, we just went up by ourselves and went to bed.
yeah?
But I can't remember. I used to have a record player, and I think I used to play that before I'd go to sleep.
Huh?
I remember that.
Wow.
It was a round record player, and you just put your record on top, and then you'd have to get up and turn it over if you wanted to hear the other side. If not, you quit and went to sleep.
Yeah.
What was your favorite radio program as a child?
Well, to tell you the truth, we didn't really, I can't even remember listening to the radio too much. Probably music would have been what I'd had on, because I like music. But I don't remember any particular one.
Now, when did you get your record player? Do you always remember?
I don't know, it was always up in my room. I think it was there when my sister lived there.
Yeah.
So she probably is the one
She
who got
had
it.
And then where did you get records? Did you have to order them through the catalog, or could you buy
I
them?
don't know, I just suppose Mom and Dad did, because
Yeah.
I don't remember doing it. So maybe it was my sister probably ordered them and left them there
Just had 'em,
when
yeah.
she left, probably. I don't remember ever.
You know, was it all music? Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Music, like singing or people playing music, or both things?
I think both.
Uh-huh.
Did you travel anywhere as a child?
We didn't go to many places, no. I don't know that we ever went anywhere, actually, as a child. My parents didn't have time to go away.
Yeah.
They were always busy. If we did, we'd have to get somebody to do the chores.
Right.
If we would have went away.
Sure.
So
Did you have any pets?
oh, let's see, dog. We always had a dog outside. We never left it in the house. They didn't have dogs in the house those days like they do now. And so we'd have a dog out to play with.
Now, if you didn't travel really, because you had to be at the farm,
Yeah.
did you go on picnics, or did you go to a lake, or did you do anything like
Well,
that?
sometimes, maybe once a year, we'd go to Syracuse Lake for a picnic.
Uh-huh.
That would be,
Would that just be your mom and dad, or other aunts and uncles would come? And,
yeah, just as our immediate family.
Uh-huh, yeah. You go, would you swim at all? Did you swim at all?
Yeah, we did.
Uh-huh,
We did. We did some of them.
yeah, the lake. And did you ever go out in a boat, or just kind of,
No, usually just to swim.
Yeah.
I don't think we even had a boat.
uh-huh.
Maybe there was some available, but we never,
Yeah, never did
we
it.
never did.
So that was a fun thing to do. And did you do anything, like, do you remember ever going to, like, a 4th of July thing in town, or things like that that maybe the community would have when you were young? Or maybe the school had programs that you might go to,
Not that I recall.
or, yeah,
There wasn't as much of that kind of thing them days.
yeah.
Do you remember, talking about history here, do you remember when Pearl Harbor was attacked and we got into World War II?
I remember hearing it on the radio. I remember him talking about it on the radio.
Would you say that, how did World War II affect you or your family at that time? I mean, were you shocked? Did some of your, because you're Mennonite, right? So were most of your relatives, your cousins and others, did they go and serve in World War II, or were they conscientious objectors like Grandpa was, or
Mm-hmm.
most of them were that?
Mm-hmm. Conscientious objectors, yeah.
And so so your family, what do you think what do you think your parents would have thought about World War II?
Well, I don't know. They never discussed it. We never discussed it.
Yeah.
Sort of, just, just to talk about it.
So even to think about your thoughts on war, what would that wasn't something that necessarily your parents ever really made a big deal about?
I think, we felt bad about it, but
Yeah. Yeah. Well, let's talk about you and Grandpa. Go to
Say-
this one.
I want to ask something.
Oh, go ahead.
Do you remember rationing? Do you remember there being
yeah,
rationing?
I do remember that.
And how did that affect the farm? Because you could grow your own food, so you know what I mean. Like,
It really didn't it didn't really bother us.
Yeah.
Because, we always had everything we needed to eat.
yeah. So maybe just with clothing or something like
Mhm.
that would be where it would have affected you.
Yeah,
Not-
too much.
Yeah, not with the food. Did your dad, do you think maybe you don't know because you might not remember, but do you think his business was affected by the war at all? His farming, like the selling milk and that kind of thing?
Oh, I don't think so.
Yeah, not really. Yeah.
No.
What year did you graduate?
Oh, I have to think. See, I got married when did I get married? In 46? Oh, why does that ring a bell?
That might be, where was your mom born? I think she was born in 46, wasn't your dad born in 44?
Yeah.
I don't know where I got that.
So you might have graduated in 46, because I think Nancy might have been born in what, 48?
Probably.
So that's probably right.
So how and when did you meet your husband?
What?
How and when did you meet
Oh,
your
how? Well, my brother used to go to the church literaries, they called them back in those days. And it was young people from Clinton Frame Mennonite Church and Clinton Brick. We didn't have enough people to attend, not young enough to attend the literary. And so Clinton Frame and Clinton Brick went together. So I went with him along to the literary a couple times, and that's where I met my husband. I didn't know he was then, but he had a brother Bob, and his name was Lamar, and I just knew they were brothers, and that's where I first met him.
What were the characteristics that drew you to Grandpa? What made you think, I kind of think he's handsome, or what was it you admired about Grandpa?
I don't know, I just watched them at the literary, how they acted, and I thought Bob was better looking than Lamar was at that time, at that age. But Bob had a girlfriend, so, knew I couldn't have him, so I didn't.
Yeah.
I don't know, I guess I just thought Lamar would be next in line.
Did you think Grandpa was funny, or was that not something that you really thought back then? Because I think he was, but...
Yeah, I guess, he was always laughing and
Yeah.
joking.
Was that his whole family? I mean, was his whole family kind of that way? Do you remember, or maybe you don't?
Well,
So where did you get married? Do you remember your wedding?
yeah, in a sunroom like this, only not this sunroom, but in the sunroom where my parents lived. We got married there.
You didn't get married at a church?
No, got married in that sunroom. It was Christmas time. It's the night before Christmas. So I got married in front of the Christmas tree and lights in the sunroom.
Okay.
And we just had the family and the minister and his wife and Ralph and Jenny Plutcher sang, and that was it. We served the refreshments and everything right there.
Huh.
That was a house full,
Yeah.
Oh, I bet.
Did you
because that's
go,
on College Avenue.
Oh, okay.
So did you go on a honeymoon or a trip anywhere?
Yeah, we did. We went south because it was warmer, because this was a Christmas. So we went south. I don't know how far south we went, not too far. And we visited a family down there that I used to babysit for. It was funny how we just visited them a little bit, stayed overnight, and come back home.
Yeah.
Went shopping.
What, you and Grandpa were married for a long time. What would you say is your advice for marriage? How do you think that you were able to stay together for so long?
Well, we never fought. We never got in fights or, any particular, we didn't get mad at each other for anything, for any reason at all. We both worked hard. We were tired at the end of the day, and so we just never got in fights or anything like that, so I don't know why.
Yeah.
We gave in to each other. If we thought different, we just kept it to ourselves. We survived.
Yeah. Because if we think about your jobs, you, was the main job you had at Goshen Rubber, or did you work before that? You worked in the schools or something, or?
Yeah, I was a teacher's aide in the school for a while. Then I went to Goshen Rubber. Worked there for 12 and a half years.
Okay. And then Grandpa, he worked at several different places.
Yeah, he worked in a lot of different places. Yeah, goodness. He worked in hardware for 13 years, and he worked in a factory for 10 years, and let's see, well, he worked at two hardwares. He worked for Gina Lare in Millersburg at a hardware for a couple of years after he quit the Goshen hardware for 13 years. And then let's see, what else did he do? We made homemade ice cream at an ice cream place in Goshen. He made homemade ice cream there. And let's see, I was trying to think. He worked over here on 33 at a place. I don't know exactly what his job was, but he did something there for a while.
What's the story? It seems like I heard somewhere about Grandpa and cheese. And just to take a piece of cheese and eat it, he didn't much care for that.
No, he didn't like cheese of any kind.
But he'd eat it on pizza or whatever.
Yeah, he could eat it on cheese.
And someone said it's because one time he saw them make cheese and he just could.
Yeah, he did. Where he made ice cream, that's where they make cheese too.
And so for some reason,
Goshen Farms Dairy it was.
And so what he saw, it was just like.
Yeah, he said if you'd see him make it, you wouldn't eat it. Especially cottage cheese. Especially cottage cheese.
Gross.
I think the cottage cheese is what bothered him most.
Okay.
Yeah. See, he made the ice cream. He didn't help with that. He probably didn't want to help with that either.
Yeah.
That's why he made the ice cream. Probably why they gave him that job.
What did he do for a living when your kids were little? When you were young?
Well, that's when he worked probably at the hardware in Goshen Farms Dairy. Yeah, our kids were being born when he worked at the Goshen Farm, or when he worked at the hardware, and then when he worked at the factory out there.
Yeah.
Now you spent most all of your younger years at Clinton Brick
Yeah,
Mennonite Church.
yeah,
So that's where you attended church for years.
yeah.
Yeah. Do you remember when it was that you would say that you really started to understand your faith in what we would say is you got saved, you really committed your life to follow Christ?
Well, I was probably pretty young. I was 10, 11, 12, I think.
And what was the, was it, you just in church and someone gave a message, or
Mhm, yeah.
and you just felt like, I need to make a decision to do this? Is that what it was? Do you remember any of the?
They stand, I think we stood up. I know I can remember some of the other girls standing up at the same time I did. And they would honor us, they would pray, have service, talk and have prayer.
Huh. Very good. What role would you say that God and the church, and what role did that play in your family? Was it pretty significant, or it was a part? I mean,
I guess it just, nothing was really said about it, it just
it's just part of your life.
part of your life, yeah.
'Cause, am I right in saying that every Sunday morning you'd go to church?
Mhm. Oh, yeah.
And very rarely would you miss?
Oh, yeah, we went to church regularly.
And if there were other social events or other things, you were always there as part of the...
Yes, always. We were church janitor for, I don't know how many years, after we got married. We were church janitor for quite a few years.
Didn't I hear a story one time that while you were cleaning the church one time, you put the Notre Dame game on, the sound system or something like that?
Kevin was there to help him clean the church, and, yeah.
And then the pastor walked in or
Yeah,
something?
his wife was always, she was the one who was always, trying to find fault or make a fuss. The pastor didn't care. He didn't care, but it was her.
Yeah.
She'd make a fuss about it. Just because Kevin was cleaning the church, the floor in the fellowship hall, he
Yeah.
had the radio on, so what,
Yeah. Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that.
No.
But she thought because it was in the church it was wrong. So she was
Okay.
wrong. I mean,
All right.
he never said a word about it, but she was one of those
Yeah.
pesky ones.
And wasn't your dad, Curtis, wasn't he a Sunday school teacher or
Oh,
something?
yeah.
like that?
Yeah. Yeah. He's a really outspoken one.
Okay.
If there was something went wrong in the church or something that he didn't agree with in the church, he got up and speak his piece.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
All right. And was your mom that way?
No. No. She
What-
was quiet.
What would she say or think when your dad would get up and speak his piece? Would
She didn't say anything.
Okay.
She just let him go. She
Yeah.
never said a word about it.
All right. Why don't you go ahead and go through this one?
Alright, how many kids do you have and what are their names?
How many children do I have? Well, let's see. Lyle, Kermit, Kevin, and Nancy and Jean were the oldest.
Okay.
The girls were the oldest.
What are some stories from your children's childhood or when they were young?
Can you think of any interesting or funny stories about any of the kids that would stick out, or particularly even Nancy, their grandma, my mom?
Well, let's see.
Now, if I had to guess, I would guess my mom, Nancy, was more kind of even keeled, and Jean was more the kind of the...
Nancy was the type to stay in the house and help clean the house and cook and things like that. Or Jean, she would help do that too, but she'd be outdoors playing ball, football, and any kind of game with the boys.
Okay, she liked doing that.
Uh-huh. That was,
Do you remember the first time you met my dad, Dave?
I don't know.
Yeah.
If I remember that or not.
Seems like somebody told me a story about how funny it was when he came to pick up my mom for a date or something, because he had a small little sports car or something.
Mm-hmm.
And here's this big tall guy getting out of this small sports car. I think it was
I don't
all the
remember
boys.
that.
Yeah.
But I remember he did have a small car, I remember that.
Yeah. Do you remember when Lyle and Kerm, and especially, I know Kevin was younger, but did they ever do anything that was funny, or you remember any funny stories about them either?
Well, Kerm fell down the cold air register in the kitchen,
Oh no.
went down to the basement.
Are you serious?
One time.
Oh no.
And we had a ping pong table in the basement. So they played ping pong down there a lot of time, but I can't remember anything else.
So he was just standing on the vent or walked
Well,
across it and it fell
see, it
through?
was in the kitchen, and they were, I don't know what they were doing, if they were tussling or what, because Lyle and Kerm did a lot of tussling.
Yeah.
And they fell right down through the cold air register. It was just Kermit that fell.
He didn't hurt himself though.
No, it wasn't that far.
Yeah.
Just little ways, you know, it didn't hurt him, no.
So Nancy, you got that name from your grandma.
Yeah.
What about Jean? Do you remember?
Jean, let's see, I was trying to think. Her name was Jean Ellen. And Ellen I named after a lady at our church. But Jean I didn't have nobody.
What about Lyle?
No, I don't know where I got that name, but
And Kerm?
I think I got them out of a book.
Oh,
I
okay.
think I got them out of a name book. They used to have books with names in.
Yeah.
That's where I got that.
Kerm was the same thing. Kerm and
Kevin too, yeah.
What about Nancy is your oldest?
That was, she was named after my grandma.
Yeah, and she was born first. And then how far apart are Jean and Nancy?
What, 17 months?
So they're really close
Yeah.
together.
Oh yeah, they were really close.
So was
Yeah.
that hard to have two little?
Well, they used to fight in bed. One would be cold and one would be hot. And so the stairway, when we go up and down the steps, would squeak when we go up and down.
Okay.
So when they get too loud, we'd have to, go, Dad'd have to go up and
Yeah.
calm them down, or straighten them out, when they'd be fighting. Because one was too cold and one was too hot.
Because they always
And,
shared a room.
yeah, but they'd hear us come up the steps,
They know.
Then they know they were
coming.
in trouble. And they went to school where they were just a year apart in school,
Yeah.
grades, yeah. So they probably did a lot of things together.
Oh yeah, they did things together, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, they did a lot of things together.
Yeah, they were funny. Rock and rolls.
What are some fun things you did with your kids when they were young?
Well, we used to go outdoors. We'd all go outdoors and play ball or something. Nancy didn't always go out and play, but the rest of us did. And we'd go for walks in the woods. Nancy didn't like to go for walks, but the rest of us did. Nancy was more the type to stay home and just do what she wanted to do, read or sew. She learned to sew
Learned to sew,
as she
yeah.
got older.
Yeah. Did you guys have a TV when your kids were growing up? Or when did you?
Yeah, we got it during the time.
And there we go.
Nancy would have probably been a teenager about
Okay.
the time we got the first TV.
Yeah. And
Some of our relatives or friends had a TV before we did, but
sure.
I guess we waited till we could afford it. But it wasn't too long before.
Yeah.
Did you travel much with the kids, and where did you go if you did travel?
We didn't travel a lot
Yeah.
because we didn't have a lot of money, so we didn't travel a lot.
It was just too expensive.
Yeah.
Now the kids, did all of your kids, you were just saying earlier, we were talking about sports. Did they all play sports in school? Nancy, Jean, all of them?
Pretty much. I was trying to think whether Nancy did or not.
Was she a cheerleader? I've seen
Yeah.
her in a cheerleader's uniform.
She's cheerleader.
So she did
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, she was a cheerleader.
Yeah.
They both were. Nancy and Jean both
Yeah.
were cheerleaders.
And that's at Millersburg.
Yeah,
Okay.
they cheered together.
So did you go and watch them? Watch
Oh, yeah.
Them cheer?
Yeah, we always went to the ball games. We went to ball games together. That's one thing we did. So we didn't, we spent our money going to ball games probably.
Yeah.
And we didn't do a lot of traveling.
Right. That's fun though. Yeah. Well, did you enjoy watching your kids do that?
Oh, yeah.
Play sports and cheer and
Sure.
know the other family.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Because they probably grew up with all the same kids.
Oh, yeah.
All those years.
did.
And kids that you knew
Right.
lived around you.
Yeah. You knew everybody that went to the ball games,
Yeah.
except those that come from afar,
Sure.
the other team.
Yeah.
Tell us about your grandchildren. How many grandchildren do you have now? You remember?
12.
12. Now, the girls were wondering about your fondest memories of your grandchildren, particularly the most important one, the oldest boy grandchild. No, I'm just joking.
Well, I
remember.
used to keep you
That's right.
when you were a baby.
And even when I was older. I was just joking. But
Yeah.
so what are your favorite memories with your grandchildren? Looking back over the past 45 years. How old is Shane now?
Yeah,
Look-
46.
Looking past, do you remember? Okay, your first grandchild, Shane. Do you remember when she was born, or you remember what it's like?
I don't remember just right offhand when she was born, but
Yeah.
I know I took care of them all.
And it seems like you're either really good at faking it, or you really enjoyed having your grandchildren with you.
Yeah, they
Because we always love being over here.
they always, you used to come here a lot. We'd sit out on the porch, and we'd open our Christmas gifts together out on the porch.
Yeah.
And we always got together at Christmas.
And did you make a big dinner?
Yeah, we always had potluck dinner.
Christmas.
Everybody brought something.
Now, do you remember when Scott was born?
I don't know if I particularly remember that particular time, but
Were you in Florida? Seems like
We
I
might have
heard
been.
a story where you
we might
guys-
have been.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, because I might have been when you were born.
And
I
you were
think
about
you
ready
were.
to come back, and
Hmm.
then he was born.
Yeah,
Yeah, you're like, I think if I remember the story right, you're getting ready to leave that next morning or something. And
to
then,
go, huh?
And then my mom went into labor, and
Yeah, right.
next thing you know,
Yeah, right. We stayed another day.
here I was.
We were going to go to Disney World, and we didn't go then because you were born.
Okay, I'm
That's
sorry.
right.
Forgive me.
That's right.
Well, let's start just a few more questions here. Start just about our world in kind of in the span of your lifetime. Go ahead.
And what is the biggest change you've seen in the world or a country through your lifetime?
That's a deep question.
It sure is. There's been a lot of changes, that's for sure.
Can you think of one or two changes that have made the biggest impact on you in the course of your lifetime?
I don't know if there was anything particularly.
Can you think of anything that kind of concerns you the most about our country right now? Or about the world? Or not really?
Probably, can't think of any particular incident right now, but
Yeah. Do you have a favorite president?
Kennedy,
Okay. And why does he stick out?
I don't know. I just always liked it when you hear things on the radio about him. Like, I don't know why, I just always thought Kennedy was it.
Yeah.
Do you remember where you were when he was shot and killed?
I don't know where I was, but I know I think I heard it on the radio.
Yeah.
I don't remember. Can't even remember where we lived at that time.
Yeah. When you think about your lifetime and all the inventions that were made, all the things that were invented over the course of your lifetime, can you think of the one that you're most thankful for, the one that has had the greatest impact on you? By the telephone so you can talk to Fern, or what? Well, I remember even when my mom was alive, you guys talked a lot, it seemed like.
Yeah. Telephone. I don't know. Can't think of anything else really.
Did you have a telephone when you were little in your house?
Yeah.
Yeah. Was it like a party line?
Yeah, I hung on the wall.
And when you picked it up, how did you call?
You had to ring.
Okay. And then the operator would come on,
Uh-huh.
and then what you'd say,
Who you wanted.
who you were trying to call.
Mhm.
Now, would they listen to you talk?
Yeah.
Operator?
You could often, sometimes you pick up the phone to ring, to call somebody, somebody'd be talking, so you'd have to wait till they were done, so
Okay.
you could listen to what they said.
Did you ever do it?
For fun, yeah.
For fun. Now, did you have a certain ring that was your ring?
Yeah, three longs.
3 longs was you. And you knew it was for you then?
Yeah.
But did it ring when it was somebody else's phone too, or no?
Oh, yeah, I think it did.
Yeah, so
I
you
think
could
it
know,
did.
ooh, I'm gonna listen to this.
Yeah, I think they did, but I never paid any attention to
Yeah,
it.
right, you ignored it, yeah.
Uh-huh.
So what are some major differences between when you were growing up and now?
Well, there's a lot of them. There's a lot of things that are different, that's for sure. I don't know that there's anything major, but
Do you think there's anything different between like when you were young and when your kids were young and now with like how we eat, like food? Like, did you go to a big grocery store when you were little? You know, like now we go to Walmart and get all of our groceries, and when you were small, you grew your food.
yeah, that's true. I don't know.
It's just how it goes, huh?
I guess that's the way it is.
Yeah. It's a change, right?
Mhm.
Did your family always have a car?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I always had a car or truck or something.
Yeah.
Sometimes we had both.
Yeah.
When did you learn how to drive? How old were you? You said you drove horses. When did you drive the car?
I don't remember, but I know I drove as soon as I could.
Yeah, you were excited to
Uh-huh.
drive. And your dad and mom would let you take the car and,
Yeah, I guess I did. I don't know that I always drove alone, but
yeah.
I'd drive. Could drive to church or
Yeah,
short distances, first, and then
yeah.
Jumping back to Grandpa, do you remember where it was that he served when he was the conscientious objector or whatever? Wasn't there a camp?
Colorado,
Okay.
Arizona. No, not Arizona. I think it was Colorado and California. He was in California a while too,
Okay.
because he was injured one place. I think it was California, where he fell or something, and they had to bring him home. They brought him home then after he was well enough.
And you guys weren't married at that time, were you?
No, it
No.
was just before we were married.
Okay.
Yeah, just before we were married.
Did you guys write letters back and forth?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was Grandpa pretty romantic or not necessarily?
Just probably jokes.
Yeah. He went right like roses are red, violets are blue, Dolores is nice.
He just wrote jokes, whatever.
Well, just a few more questions. Do you remember when my mom and dad were killed
Yeah.
and that whole thing?
Oh yeah.
What what was your initial thought when that happened?
Well, I know. I don't know. They come to the front door and rang the doorbell, and I know Grandpa and Casey. I know Casey was here. I don't know why she was here. Or how old would she have been?
She'd been little, yeah.
Well, I was
She was
15,
pretty-
almost 16.
She was
so,
pretty little.
Yeah. So she was here maybe
they
to spend the
cried.
night.
They cried right away. I couldn't cry right away.
Yeah.
I just couldn't cry.
You was shocked.
Yeah, I think that's what it was. I was just completely shocked. So it took me a while before I could cry. But they cried immediately.
Yeah. So
remember that.
Lyle and Jean came over, didn't they?
Yeah, they came over.
And then didn't you guys come over to my Aunt Marcia's?
Mhm.
I remember
We
seeing
were
you
all
guys
come
come
over there
in.
then, yeah. Shane and Gary were gone.
Yeah.
And they came then too.
Yeah.
yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a shock.
I don't think I've ever seen Grandpa cry, other than that
Of that time.
moment.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And I
could-
don't remember either of any time that he ever cried like that.
Yeah. Hmm. Did you ever have any thoughts on, even like for us kids, Julie and I particularly, where we would go to live or what we should do or whatever? I mean, it seems like Mom and Dad had that pretty much taken care of as far as we were to go to Sharon and Emmer's, but then it kind of turned and it worked out for the better for Shane and Gary to come and live with us. Did you ever have any thoughts on that, or not really? Just
I don't know, it just sort of worked out by itself.
yeah.
It, I thought Mary Emerson had something to do with it, but I don't know if he did or not.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, are there any other questions you guys want to ask, Grandma? Well, thank you for your time, Grandma.
Oh yeah, my time's valuable.
That's right. I appreciate you letting us bombard
Hear
you
the
with
dogs?
questions.
Hear
And
the
you.
dogs?
I hear 'em, yeah.
The dogs even joined us.
Usually a lot of times they're louder than that, depends on what they see. See bicycles go past, people walk past.
Get this going again. We've got the dogs joining us still. Okay, now Hayden, what do you want to ask your great grandma?
Did you ask that one?
What's your favorite kind of baby?
What was your favorite candy when you were little?
Oh, something with chocolate in it.
Oh,
Like maybe Hershey's?
Yeah.
Hershey bar?
so anything with chocolate was your favorite. Okay.
What gift it for that?
What did you like for breakfast?
Oh, scrambled eggs and toast.
What was her favorite dress to wear?
What was your favorite dress that you got to wear when you were little? Did you have a favorite dress? Or pants or whatever?
I think I had a red dress I liked the best.
What in did in what games did you play for fun?
She said, did you play any games? What kind of games did you play?
Oh, let's see. Probably hide and go seek.
You like that one. Yeah.
Where did marbles come in? Seems like every time I come over we play marbles.
Marbles of some kind. See, what was that called? It had a name, but what was it?
I just always called it marbles.
I played it even one time here. I remember.
Yeah, what is it called?
I don't
It
know.
has a name,
Okay.
but I can't tell you now what it is. We didn't ever say it often enough, I
Yeah,
guess.
just say
Yeah.
marbles.
Yeah.
Huh. Now, were you allowed to play cards growing up? Like with cards?
Yeah, but we didn't play regular
No,
card
you didn't
game,
play
just
it, yeah.
another game, what is it? That had a name too.
Yeah, maybe we played like Dutch Blitz or something like that with cards.
It was another,
Yeah. Okay, good job.
Okay, Tate has another one she thought of.
okay?
Did you like to go outside?
Oh, yeah. I like to be outside. I played outside lots. Every time I could play outside, I'd play outside.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's fun. Now, do you remember, did you sled? Could you sled or things like that?
We went down hills, yeah. Mhm.
Do you have like a sled or did you just go on your?
Yeah, we had a regular sliding sled.
Mm-hmm.
We lived where we lived when the kids were growing up. There was a couple hills out back we could go to.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah,
that's fun.
we liked that.
Very good.
Okay.
You got any more questions? Oh, one more? Okay, go for it.
They took off flowers.
Did you grow flowers?
Oh, yeah. I like flowers, lots of flowers. In the garden, around the house, around the fence.
Good job. Could you girls just go and get over by Grandma? I could take a quick picture. Just maybe.